Hey kids, welcome to Unit 5, Lesson 9, Finding Duplicates, exercise number 2. We have another choose your own adventure. I'm going to be doing C group projects. What teacher doesn't love to assign group projects? There will be a separate video for D video games. It has a pretty interesting solution that I think you should probably understand. Let's go ahead and jump into the code and see what we have to do. A teacher is assigned a group project to the class. Each student in each group has been assigned a different role for the project. The teacher wants to make sure that no student in a group has been assigned the same role. If so, we just want to automatically assign them the role of researcher. They have the information stored in a 2D array where each row represents a different group. In Teacher Java, we're going to write the replace roles to find and replace any duplicate values in current row. If current row contains a duplicate value, we're going to replace the duplicates with researcher. We're going to write the method replace duplicates to replace any duplicate values in each row in the 2D array project roles. Finally, in my console, we're going to call the replace duplicates method and print the updated array. Take a look at our code. We have a 2D array here, so we have a leader, scribe, leader, timekeeper, presenter, leader, timekeeper, scribe, scribe, leader, presenter, scribe. We have a duplicate there. Timekeeper, presenter, presenter, another duplicate, leader. So that's our 2D array we're going to go through one row at a time. Remember, we're not comparing rows against rows, only what's within the row. We're instantiating a new object, myTeacher. It's from the teacher class. And then myTeacher is calling the print project roles method. They have a place to call the replace duplicates method here. Let's take a look at Teacher Java. We have our 2D array. Our constructor is taking that 2D array. Our print project roles is going through each row and column and printing them off one at a time. We have a spot to write our replace roles and a spot for replace duplicates. Let's start with our replace roles. We're going to do what we've been doing the last couple of lessons. We're going to look through the row, and then we're going to compare the values to each other element in that row. So that means our outer loop will start at 0, inner loop will be 0 plus 1. And then if anything in that current row equals what's at that next spot, this time we're not returning true, we're just going to replace whatever's at that current row at the value next with researcher. Let's write that in the code. We need an outer loop, so we have our for, our curly cues. This is our outer loop. And in here, we want int current equal to 0 as long as current is less than. And we are going through the current row's length array that's getting passed along. So the current row length that we got passed along. Spell that correctly though. As long as we're underneath the length of that, we're going to increment through our row. That's our outer loop. We need our inner loop. So it is our inner loop. And now we just want to get whatever our next position is. So we have to create another variable, and we'll just call this next. That's going to be equal to a current plus 1. As long as next is less than the current row dot length, we're going to increase through next. Now we just have to check our values. So that's going to be an if statement. So we have if curly cues. This is our if statement. And if the current row, and we want to be at the current position, is dot equals to the next position. So we have to call the current row. We want to get the next index. If we find something, well, then whatever that current row at next is, that's now going to be equal to the researcher role. Don't forget your semicolon. Let's clean up our code. This is our end of method. We're not done yet. We have to replace any duplicates. And this is going to go through each row and run the method from above. How do we do that in our last lesson? Well, we needed an outer loop. This is our for loop. And we're going to go through all of the rows. We're going to start at 0 first. And as long as our rows are less than, and what is our array called? It's called project roles. So as long as we're less than project roles length, then we're going to keep incrementing through the array. Now we just need to run the replace roles method at whatever project roles row we're at. And this is just going to go through each row and run that method. Let's clean up our code. This is our end of class and our end of method. We have our 2D arrays that work in tandem together. This function looks through a single row, compares the value to the next one, and this one looks through each row running the method above. We should check our spelling here just to make sure everything is spelled right. Everything looks pretty good right now. Length, that's a hard one, kids. Let's head over to my console and finish up our code. First, we have to call the replace duplicates method. So my teacher replace duplicates. Make sure that's spelled right. It is. Then we're going to do a print statement here. And this is going to say, and we're going to do an escape character here to go down to the next line, replacing duplicate roles with researcher. And then we have to run our project roles method now. So we're going to go my teacher dot print project roles again. Make sure we have that spelled right. Everything looks pretty good. That means we should get these roles printed, run our method, print the roles again down here. Well, let's see if we're right, kids. Oh, it looks like we have an error. Looks like we spelled equals wrong. Let's go to line 36. We got that one. Let's see if we have anything else. Line 49, looks like we have replaces roles. That should be a replace. Let's clean that up. That looks like everything. Let's clear our method, head back to my console. Let's run. We have our first list there. And our second list now with researcher. Looks like our code's working pretty good. Key takeaway from this lesson is understanding how we find duplicates in a 2D array. In this one, we compared each value to the one next to it. And in order to search through a 2D array, we needed a second method to run the above method on each row. I know you hear me say this a lot, but this is a great question that you might see on the FRQ exam. Remember, there's only a couple things they can ask you to do: reverse, replace, or find a specific object. So make sure you understand how these algorithms work, and especially why you need both of them. Hopefully this video helped you find duplicates in your code As always, kids, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next lesson. See you later, kids. Bye. Bye. Bye.